the mounting, I would just work on it for like an hour. Just sit there inside the arena and just, yep, get up, get off, move them to the spot, keep working them until they do it, and just keep the pressure on until they do it right, and release the pressure when they've done it. Hello.
So we're riding into a nature
And those
conservancy.
Western trainers will
It's
knock all that
fairly new.
ignorant
They
shit
just
out of
built
your
this
horse
fence and gate
pretty
and
quickly.
access. But there's no signs that say no horses. And
Almost.
it's maybe a 10 or 15-minute ride
Just come back up behind me
between
and
this
you
road
should just follow
through
me.
this nature conservancy
That was
to
close.
a huge multi-use horse trail, bike trail, hiking trail that takes you all down by the river. It's like a full day of riding. But it's like 10 minutes down this trail till it hooks up. Otherwise, you have to go all the way down to the highway, ride down the highway next to like semi trucks and things, and then ride all the way back in, just to avoid riding along these power pole paths where they're currently going in and mulching everything and destroying all the foliage and all the flora that's there and all that sort of a thing. So there's obviously nothing to conserve underneath the power poles because they've chopped it all up. So we stay off of all the walking trails. We don't go near any of that sort of stuff because there are little signs that say no horses on all those walking trails. So out of respect for the conservancy, we just ride under the power poles. There is no trails. There is no foot traffic. There's nothing that we're screwing up or anything. Um, and we just get in and
Good
out
girl.
to the
There you
horse trails
go.
as fast as we can. Why they didn't do like a
You
little
never had to get
multi-use
off
trail
yet?
just along this side at least for people to connect it because it's literally a short distance. I have no idea. Like it just seems pretty ignorant to the community and all the people around here and all the other facilities that could use that space. Oh well.
Where you going? What's that? I was gonna get off and walk you through. Yeah. You can do that. You shouldn't let them get away with just running away from it though. 'Cause it sets a bad precedent. Come on. What? Oh my god. Come on. You'll be fine. Like I said, if anything, you just dismount and get back on. Were you pulling her into a tight circle though? Were you doing this when she was freaking out like that? Yeah, yeah. They should have taught you that a long time ago. So it's like the horse emergency brake. If they start freaking out like that, you pull on that one side as hard as you can into the tightest circle that you can. Because it disengages their shoulder, they can't rear up, they can't do much. Yeah, so you pull right into that circle, and then when they freak out like that, it just makes them into a tight spin. Yep. Well, easy, easy. There we go. Just freaks. Okay. We can just wait here for a minute. Let your heart rate go down. Good boy. No, they don't have treats. Have you done all the way down there? Oh, sweet. Down there. Not all the buckets have oats. He's okay with the chainsaw. This is like her second trail ride. Yep. Like, I'm done, I'm going home. Like, no, you're not. Horses don't get better by avoiding all the weirdness. There you go. No. Got like another hour ride this way. Awesome. We'll see you on the way back. No problem.
And just like that, super fast, we are onto the horse trails and the Devonian Trail, which has got hours and hours and hours of riding for horses and everybody. It needs to be connected.
And there's a marked thing through a little residential acreage area. We're gonna go left here. And then it takes you to the Devon Trail down to the river. And it just switches back. Yeah, see? And this is 200 acres.
So it's a privilege to have these spaces and an amazing de-stressor to get out for 2 or 3 hours just riding off the property and going right into these trails. Um, we see owls all the time and deer and moose apparently all week for me and every 3 months, because we live in Canada, it's a new trail. It changes completely with every season. They groom these trails at this location all year round, so there's always access, which is awesome. Awesome workouts for the horses. As long as it's not minus 40 or 50. But we plodded along here. Tammy's horse needs its feet done, so she's had a couple of bad farrier experiences, and they've actually got it walking on its toe, and it's off, totally just off. So we didn't want to work it too hard. Also, it's the beginning of the season; it's pretty early, so they both need to be um, brought back up to exercise levels. These hills are all pretty rolling, and there's some steep hills and things that come up. And Pounder and I have been out every day for a few weeks, doing 2, 3+ hours of riding up steep hills, down steep hills, trotting and cantering a lot. And it's nice to have a day where we just poke along, but of course, we do some trotting and running later on. So this area used to be a really horrible slough, and because it's um, managed public land, they've gone in and filled in and packed down all these little spots, and they've actually really improved the quality of the trails in this section. It's going to make a huge difference riding, because now the horses just aren't going to sink into their ribs and the muskeg and things like that are there, because we've had that happen.
And Pounder's like super alert because he's like boss horse, right? So his job is to be aware of all the hazards and protect the herd. So he spooks him always, and he's very reactive for sure. But I've seen I've seen horses that don't, like Morgan's horse Oxford the other day going through stuff. Pounder's like avoiding muskeg and taking like the least hazardous ways around stuff. But Oxford was just like plop plop, go where I'm told, don't think about anything. And I'm like, okay, well that's good, until they sink. And then it's like, oh shit. Yeah, or sprain a leg, twist an ankle. And there's old cowboys that'll force them through like mud and shit. Like if I wanted Pounder to go through that part, and I told him to and he didn't, I'd be pissed. But if he avoids it on his own, then, it doesn't matter if he goes through the mud or through the safer space. Like, why am I being a hard ass or something like that? Yeah. But you'll have cowboys, like on the old trails I used to make, there was quads and stuff that would go through them all the time. And they would tear it up and they would litter all the time. So then there would be like I'd be riding them all year, so I know kind of what was there and what had a lot of garbage and what didn't. But then it would fill with water, and these old cowboys would be, oh, I'm gonna lead the trail today, Jeff. I'm like, all right, and they'd make everybody like go through the water. And I'm like, nah, we're going over here, because I know for a fact there's a broken bottle in there, right? Yeah, but they're just like, control your horse, make it do what you tell it to do. And it's like, okay, that's great, but you don't know what's in the bottom of that water. And this time of year, it could be ice. And then that's the last thing you want. If there's still ice and snow. Good job, buddy. Look at you doing so good now. He's like, I'm dead inside. I only have so many freak out chemicals and burn them all off at once. I'm done. Whoa, pick your feet up, buddy. You're like, this ground is shit, to be honest. Easy. Easy. No racing. There we go. Did you ask her to? Oops.
So this area got a little soft-footed. It's a lot of muskeg. The horses jumped up off to the edge because they were sinking really badly. And also, like, we don't want to tear up trails. It's pretty early in the season. And if you go through and do all this riding on these soft trails and things like that, you can permanently kind of just leave it really rough and shit. So we try not to do that. You know, it's obviously... respectful horsemanship is just make sure you respect all these places that you have access to and not going around and destroying everything and tearing things up just like quads. But you can see, like, this area here, there's actually a culvert underneath there and it wasn't functioning properly, so it all came over top. And luckily our horses are pretty solid and things and went through all that stuff, but they sank pretty good. And then there's more up here, and it is early in the season. It's still spring. There's obviously still snow and ice on the ground, and the top of the ground is thawed out and a little muddy in some spots, and then under that is ice. So there's another reason we're not running a lot and trotting a lot, is it's not 100% safe yet. A couple more weeks, it'll be great. We'll be tearing through this whole place.
Erica's like, don't kill them! Like, Erica, it's early in the season. It's not just you. She did the same thing to Morgan. She's like, Ja. Alright. Doing better. I don't know what date he's in, but it's not a good date. Yeah, I'm like, whatever you call it, it's horrible. Whoa. Whoa. Nice.